of graphing linear equations. Just take pretend real quick. All right. Questions on 123, 124 I can help you with? Yeah. Number 4, you got it. Oops. All right, problem number 4. It looks like they gave you -2, 0 is 1 point, and 2, -2 for your second point. Okay, so first thing we want to do is let's figure out what the slope would be. So it looks like I can count down 1, 2, so down 2, and right 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll just reduce it, but if you left it as 2 over 4, you're fine. So your slope is good. Now we're going to use point slope form, which is this, which now you know this so far. Now, the goofy thing about these is if I choose to use this point, remember when I plug it in, we get that. If I chose this point, though, and I plug it in, I'm going to get this. So remember, the values will switch on us. So either of those answers is 100% correct. Is that okay? What else did you see on 123, 124 I could help you with? Doing all right? Questions, comments, ideas? Everyone content? Everyone excited for Halloween? Yeehaw! I like it. You make me laugh. That's funny. Bless you.
I'm going for 3 different costumes.
Perfect.
I have YB, and then I have like a Spider-Man thing, and then I have what's it called, Scream.
Gotcha.
Why do you have 3?
Because I want candy. Wait, is this girl? Can I have a question right quick?
Okay.
What's it mean that I asked this girl to sit on my porch for Halloween? Because I need a decoration. Wow.
Yeah.
But no, if she would like, was it like over the top, you know, like?
You know,
Was it a pickup line or were you serious? I wasn't that serious.
it sounds silly to me, but you know, hey.
This girl had came to school with a witch mask, and I said, "Why you got your funny up here?" Because she had a huge pimple on her nose. Oh, that's what my teeth is. I just think I'm mean for no reason.
Frankfurt a little. Okay. Okay, would you do me a favor? Get your books out, please. And we are going to be on page 125. Okay? So what I'd like to do is I would like to go through, I'm going to do all the even problems. I want you to stop me and pause me when, if you have a question. Cool? I'm going to sit here. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm just going to go through and just work the evens. But I want you to take a look at it, and we're going to discuss them as we go through it. And when we discuss it, we're going to go through the 3 questions. I'm just going to keep repeating it over and over and over again. Yes, I will get you a sheet that will have the 3 questions on it that you can use on your quiz on Tuesday. Okay? All right, so problem number 2. Problem number 2. Notice I skipped number 1. Agreed? Everyone with me still? All right. Question number 1. Are x and y on the same side of the equal sign? No. Everyone agree? Can I identify the y-intercept and the slope? And the answer is yes. So the y-intercept is going to be 0, 4, positive 4, comes right there. The sign doesn't change because I didn't pull it out of parentheses, agreed? So 0, 4 is right here. And then my slope is negative 1/3. So notice I moved the negative up. Okay, so from this point I'm going to go down 1, then I'm going to go right 3. And if I graph this right, that's what our straight line would look like. Make sense? Questions about that? A couple phones are out. Can you please hide them from me? May I move to problem number 4? Okay. All right, so problem number 4, we have y equals 3 over 2x minus 5. Question number 1, are x and y on the exact same side of the equal sign? No. Question number 2, can I identify the slope and the y-intercept? Yes or no? Yeah. So my y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 5. Again, the sign didn't change because I didn't pull it out of any parentheses. So 0, negative 5 is down here. Okay. What's my slope? What's my 3 over 2? Good job. So from this point, I'm going to go up 3, right 2, put a second dot. A student asked me yesterday, they said, can I leave I count like the points like you do. Can I leave those on my graph? Yeah. They're not necessarily part of the graph, but it's totally fine. You're showing that you have a thought process there. Yeah. Only 2 dots. 2 distinct dots. 2 different dots form only one line. Does that make sense? Any questions on number 2 or number 4? You feel comfortable? All right, flip the page. Go to problem number 6. Problem number 6. First question, it's always the same. Are x and y on the same side of the equal sign? Yes. What method do I use? Cover method. Good. So cover method. And I very much encourage you to always write 0, blank, blank, 0. That way you know you're dealing with 2 points. Okay? So, get ourselves a circle. Let's fill that circle with a dark green. All right. All right. So, is that 0 that the circle is under the x value or the y value? X. So I'm going to cover up my x value. 4 times what number gives me 8? Yeah, so 0, 2. So that actually happens to become the y-intercept. Agree? All right, now I'm going to move my circle. Is that 0 that the circle is under? Is that an x or a y value? It's a y value, so I'm going to cover up my y value. So 2 times what number gives me 8? 4. And that actually becomes the x-intercept. Okay, connect the 2 points to each other. Now, here's a question. Can I figure out the slope just from my graph? Yeah. So I'm going to pick this point, and I'm going to go down 1, 2. So I went down 2, so that's negative. Okay. And I'm going to go right 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I went 4 over. So yes, you can leave it as an unreduced fraction. The cleaner version is this. Either one of those is totally right. I just want to make sure we can identify the slope just by looking at it.
So would the point -1, 2 also?
Yeah, it appears to be, yeah. Yeah. Actually, the point 2, 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, questions on number 6. Yes.
Well, so on the test, if it just says graph, then you still have to find the slope.
No. I'm just trying to give you a little added goodness, if that's okay. Good question. I like that question. All right. I'm going to go to problem number 8. Problem number 8, I have x minus 4y is equal to 8. Okay? Question number 1. Are the x and the y value both on the same side of the equal sign? Yeah, so what am I going to use? Cover. And again, my friends, I strongly encourage you to have 0, blank, blank, 0. Okay? So let's fill that with, purple will be fun. All right. So that 0 is an x or a y value. X. So I'm going to move up. I'm going to cover my x value. -4 times what number gives me 8? -2. So 0, -2. So that's down here. So that happens to be a y-intercept. Okay. I'm going to move my purple. Is that 0 an x or a y value? Y. So I'm going to cover up my y value. X equals 8. There's nothing I have to multiply times it. So my answer is just 8. So 8, 0 is right here. So that happens to be the x-intercept because it crosses the x-axis. Connect my dots. Okay. Now, again, this is added. Can we find the slope? And the answer is yes. I'm going to go up 2. So if I go up 2, that's positive. I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's my slope. I can indeed reduce it. It's not always necessary, but it's just good practice saying we can still reduce fractions. Okay? And again, it did not ask for the slope, but I'm just trying to give you a little extra so you feel comfortable. Like if it says, hey, what's the slope of this line? You're like, oh, count. Just count.
From the 2 points.
Yep, between the 2 points. Yep.
So could you count from like any 2 points?
Any 2 points that happen to exist on that line. Exactly right. Yeah. All right, problem number 10. We have 3x minus y is equal to 9. Okay? Question 1. Are the x and the y values on the same side of the equal sign? Yes. So this is cover method. So I'm going to go 0, blank, blank, 0. Agree? And I just changed the colors just because I'm just that dude. All right. Is that 0 an x or a y value? X. So I'm going to cover up my x. So -y equals 9. -y equals 9 this way. So what does y have to equal then? -9. Okay? So 0, -9. That's going to be down here. That happens to be the y-intercept. Okay. Is that 0 an x or a y value? Y. So I'm going to cover up my y value. 3 times what number gives me 9? 3. That's 3 comma 0. And that is a x-intercept. All right. Make your line. Oops. Don't make it as bad as stirrup. Oops. Thought that'd work better, but it didn't. Try to use my IDs. All right. So that's our line. We don't have to find this, but it's good practice. Let's find the slope. So I'm going to go for my red dot, and I'm going to count up to my blue dot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Up 9, that's positive. Right 3, that's negative, or that's positive as well. So I can reduce this to 3 over 1. Technically, you could say that this is the same thing as m equals 3. But again, my friends, I feel it's important that we realize that slope is a fraction. So you can keep something over 1. Okay? If you gave me this as the answer, you're not incorrect. I just want you to realize if you only have one number, sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out the slope if you don't realize any number can be over 1. Yes, sir?
So if you simplify the slope, isn't it not the slope anymore?
No, it is. Watch this. Ready? So if I did this 3 over 1, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. Okay, if I drew my line correctly, if I can go up 1, 2, 3, right 1, look at that. If I go up 1, 2, 3, right 1, I go up 1, 2, 3, right 1, I go up 1, 2, 3, right 1.
So as long as it's staying on the line, like 25 minutes.
Yep. You see how like I just identified a whole ton of points. But it's nice when you have graph paper. You're trying to just hand draw like an XY axis, and it's you make your XY axis like this versus like that, which it happens.
So technically, that would also be like 8 over 6.
Oh yeah, love it. All right, go to number 12. That's on page 127. Number 12 on page 127. So I have y minus y1, or oops, y minus 1, excuse me, and a hiccup. Negative 2x plus 5. First question, are x and y on the same side? No. Can I identify my y-intercept and my slope by looking at it? No. Is there a set of parentheses? Yes. Okay. So set of parentheses means that we're going to use our point slope. This is written as point slope form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my point first. Okay, now I said this yesterday. Let's see who remembers. This is going to come down. What's it going to be when it comes down? Negative 5. Remember in math, if it's grouped, it comes out opposite. And remember I said yesterday, this technically should be in parentheses, but we've gotten lazy. Okay?
What make it a negative?
It basically comes down to x plus 5 equals 0. How do you solve for x? You'd have to subtract 5. That's basically the reasoning behind it. Okay, so what would this one come down to be as the y value? 1. So negative 5 up 1. Here's my point that we're going to start with, okay? That is not an x or a y-intercept, is it? It's just an arbitrary point. Okay, friends, what is my slope as a fraction? What is my slope as a fraction? Negative 2 over 1, yeah. So this is my slope, and I make it a fraction, okay? So from the red point, I'm going to go down 2 and write 1. And there is my line that fits between those 2 points. Good enough? Can we do number 14 as the last one? Can I move on? Giddy up. All right, number 14. I get y plus 1 equals x plus 3. Let's go with our three questions. Are x and y on the same side of the equal sign? No. Can I identify my slope and my y-intercept? Has to be y equals. Okay. Can I identify, is there a set of parentheses? Yeah. So this is going to work with the point slope. Okay. All right. So remember, this technically should be in parentheses. Okay. So let's get our slope first. Or, excuse me. Let's get our point first. I'm sorry. What will this value become? -3. What will this point become? Okay, so -3, -1, right down here. Okay. Ooh. What is my slope? If it was 0, 0 times a quantity is 0. But it's not 0. It's going to be 1. And how do I make 1 a fraction? 1 over 1. So from this point, I'm going to go up 1, right 1. And my line of best fit looks right like that. That's it. That is all we got. So my friends, to kind of sum things up, and I'll get you a sheet of paper, we have 3 questions. Okay? And again, I'm trying to keep it consistent because as I repeat it over and over and over again, hopefully that consistency can apply to other classes. The first question is, are x and y on the same side? If the answer is yes, you use the cover method, which is 0, blank, blank, 0. Agree? If the answer is no, go to number 2. Problem number 2. Can I get the slope and y-intercept? Which means it's going to look like this. Yeah, in order for that question to work. So our y-intercept is going to become 0, b, and our slope is that m value. If the answer is yes, plot y-intercept, which is 0, b, or whatever that number would be, and use slope m for second point. Okay? If the answer is no, go to question number 3. Okay? And if you go in this order, it's going to be quite obvious. Question number 3. Is there parentheses? Okay? If this is yes, get point and plot it and slope. Okay? And again, you have to remember that this type of thing, you're going to get an equation like this. And your point is going to be x1, y1. And I want you to notice this is the opposite value of that. And this is the opposite value of that. And then their slope. Your slope is here. So that's your slope. Oh, I tried to do nice things and it didn't work. That's your slope. Okay? If the answer is no, is it special case? Meaning, is it x equals a number for a vertical line where slope is undefined, or y equals a number, so it's a horizontal line where where our slope is 0. Okay? So that's everything that can come with graphing straight lines. There isn't really anything more that adds to it. And again, I will get you a sheet of paper that'll have those 3 questions on it that I will allow you to use on the quiz on Tuesday. Okay?
Are we gonna have questions on the calculus for the 0?
Well, slope of 0 would just be y equals a number, and that would be a horizontal line. So you just go whatever that number is, like y equals 7, you go up to 7, put a dot, horizontal line right through that 0, 7.
And then if you have x equals 7, then you would just have a
Vertical line. You go to 7 on the x, make a vertical line right through it. That's exactly it. All right, so my friends, I would like to give you all the opportunity to start on the homework, which is going to be page 125 through 127, all. Now, friends, what did we just do? We just did the evens. Therefore, you should only be responsible for just the odds. Where can you find the odd answers? Go on Schoology, go into the orange folder, and this is GLF 11. So GLF 11. Friends, if you happen to get this done, that means Sunday evening you go out trick-or-treating, or you run around the neighborhood looking for little kids that don't have parents with them, and you steal their candy.
What about the other little kids?
Yes, sir. Oh, you got done? Cool.